Hey, and welcome back. James chapter 1 verse 5. If any man lacks wisdom, let him ask. And let him ask of God. And the scripture says that God will give to us liberally without reproach. But I want to look at something a little bit different today in relation to godly wisdom. And, as I said yesterday, this godly wisdom gives us the leading benefit and the cutting edge when we go through various tests and trials that, God himself, as it says that his comprehensive insight, saying right application of knowledge at the right time is a great benefit and advantage to the Christians without a doubt. But I want to read something else here in the book of Acts chapter 6 in relation to Stephen, that wisdom sometimes doesn't always agree with people. You may not understand what I mean, but have a listen to this. And this is in the book of Acts chapter 6, and I'll read from verse 8. And Stephen, full of faith and power, did great wonders and signs among the people. Now one would think that everyone would be rejoicing and celebrating these amazing things, but not so. In verse 9 it says, And there arose some from what is called the synagogue of the freedmen, Cyrenians, Alexandrians, and those from Cilicia and Asia, disputing with Stephen, and they were not able, listen to this, they were not able to resist the wisdom and the spirit by which he spoke. They were not able to resist the wisdom. Now, people say that, that when it says resist, that they were just enticed into and they were just gobsmacked by this man's wisdom. No, this word resist in the Greek is antihistemi, and what it means is to stand against. And so these people, they were standing against not so much Stephen, but they were standing against the wisdom and the spirit by which he spoke. And so, when we are as Christians today, this might sound a bit funny, but because we know what happened to Stephen, they're saying, Lord, I'm asking for wisdom, but look at what happened to Stephen. Maybe I shouldn't be asking for this. But the reality is that this wisdom, this insight that God gives us, this comprehensive insight, will at times stir up people of the wrong spirit. There's no two ways about that at all. Let me give you the drum now. And so here we see that Stephen, then, they set up false witnesses against him and brought him to the council, saying that he was saying things against the law of Moses and against Moses. And we see at the end that as Stephen preached his first and last sermon, you imagine that, for preachers, you only preach one sermon, they killed you for it. It was either a good or a bad message. This one here, Stephen preached a really strong message, and he cut straight to the heart, and they stoned him and killed him. And so it comes back to this very thing that these men could not stand against. They could not overcome. They could not rise up against this wisdom that Stephen had, and this by the spirit in which he spoke. And again, we see such a conflict of the Spirit of God and the spirit of this world. And we see the Spirit of God in Stephen, and the manifestation of this was this wisdom, this comprehensive insight, and the ability to, bring forth this knowledge and understanding at the right time. Sometimes people say, well, the miracles in themselves are enough. Well, we see here that the people were not really taken by what the miracles were showing them. What they were really concerned about was that what Stephen was saying was against the status quo. It was against what people wanted and what they felt that they needed. And so great conviction came upon them. So this wisdom, when we lack wisdom, and it says, let us ask of God who'll give to us liberally, this is something that we need to determine. Do you really want this wisdom? And obviously the answer should be yes, absolutely yes. And we as Christians, we are in this for the long haul. We are here to be a great witness for Christ at any cost. Anyway, join me tomorrow and we'll continue with this. If any man lacks wisdom, let him ask of God. Until then, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.